Rick Ross. It got the P Diddy things going on with Choppa is revealing some things, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Uh, Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm gonna show y'all a clip of what Chopper's been saying. This is funny. I can't believe it. Well, I always kind of figured. I said if anybody's gonna be doing something, it would be Sarah. So when he was saying this, it didn't shock me in the least.
But speaking of the bed, your bedmate Sarah, she did an interview for a documentary saying that Diddy violated her. You seen it?
I'm gonna be honest. You heard me? I can't be a person that I can't do that. I just can't be fake, bro. So I'm gonna keep it G. It's all respect and love for Sarah, you know. But at the end of the day, I would say I don't think that's true. Reason why I would say that y'all is because at the end of the day, Diddy used to come down. We had the making the band penthouse. This when we already made the band. You dig? Diddy used to come downstairs like 3, 4 in the morning, bruh, and tell Sarah, like, come on. And she'll get up and she'll go with him. And then she'll come back down about 4 hours later, hair messy, makeup all smeared up, drunk, and look like she got period. And
Ain't that crazy? You remember Sarah was married on that show. She had kids. She was just trying to make that band. Whatever she had to do, she was gonna make that band.
she did that at least 3 to 4 times, multiple times. So I don't think that that's true that that man violated her. I think that she was ecstatic, she was bucked up, and she couldn't wait to fuck him. And that's just
I believe him. And I definitely believe him. That's what I was saying the whole time I was covering the P. Diddy stuff. It's like, bro, some of that stuff may be true, but not all of it. Some of those people wanted to be involved with P. Diddy because they felt like, oh, I can make it somewhere. I can get something. Even those women. I think a lot of those women, I'll say it again, they weren't violated. They just saying that now they trying to play victims for one, because I know that they wanted to be with P. Diddy. Two, I think that they were willing participants in possibly exploiting some of the other females, gathering them up, saying, hey, you want to go to this party, maybe getting them drunk because they was into that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. Malcolm, what's FBA says her dude used to be stressing her. He knew she was getting flipped. I remember that. Remember, he was always calling in. He was always calling, bro. She was always on that phone. He did used to be stressing. I did. You right. He used to be stressing about that chick because he knew she trying to get in the industry. If your chick trying to get in the industry, then you know niggas is gonna try to flip her. You know they is. And it's Diddy, you know he gonna get that, and she gonna try to hide it. But I'm pretty sure, like you said, he knew what was going on. He knew what was going on. Then this man Chopper just said 3 to 4 times. So she can't turn around now and say she was violated. No, 3 to 4 times you wasn't violated. You was on camera. You could have easily said, P. Diddy is trying to make me do X, Y, and Z. I don't want to do it. You could have just busted him out on camera. You say she eventually divorced him. Oh, did he? I know they had some arguments on the phone. Oh, he did come. He came to visit. One episode he came to visit. I think he brought the kids. He may have put hands on them because she did seem kind of timid. She did seem kind of timid. Either way, she was trying to make that band. I know that. She made it too. Her and Don.
that's just my opinion. And everybody used to
Now
talk
Don didn't make the band. He got rid of her and made Don a part of Dirty Money. Well, she ended up being like a solo artist at first, I think.
about Sarah fucking Diddy anyway around the bad boy office. So I don't think that's true. And there's no disrespect to Sarah, but 100 is 100. You got to keep it real, yeah. And I just don't feel like Sarah was telling the truth because I seen it with my own eyes, you know. Did it fucking on that girl buku times, and she was not feeling violated or nothing. She was happy, facts, and she thought that, you heard me, courtesy of her fucking on him, that she was going to get privileges, and did it drew it to the side like she was nothing. And no offense to Sarah, but that's just my opinion and that's my truth. And I'm keeping it real. I don't think Diddy violated her. Facts. Because Sarah used to get drunk, and Sarah used to get drunk on her own. Like on Making a Band, that was, and Sarah, and shout out to
She
Sarah
did
though,
used to
but
be fucked up.
that's the first time I had alcohol in my life. With Sarah, and I had a Long Island iced tea. That was my first drink in my life. I hated weed smoke. I hated alcohol. I hated all that shit growing up. And I grew up in the ghetto, and I hated all that shit. But when I got around Sarah, I started drinking, and to this day I still drink. Bad habit, but I kind of like it. But yeah, bro, Sarah used to get drunk, and she tend to do things she shouldn't be doing as a married woman. And I'm just gonna say at the end of the day, that's what I seen. That's what I know. And it is what it is. Sarah used to get drunk, get freaky, and do things she shouldn't have been doing. So did it.
What I say the other day when we was playing the music, I said on that who was that, Yo Gotti? He said, what did he say? Somebody, a nigga not knowing his bitch is the next nigga bitch. That shit true. You just never know.
Did it violating her? That's cap. She was excited to do it. Facts.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody told me behind the scenes that she was messing around with Genuine. You know anything about that?
All right, so I'm going to say this here. And like, you see how you asked me about Diddy and Sarah? I 100% confirmed that because I used to see her come down looking like she got and then word around Bad Boy was she was getting by him. With the Genuine situation, um, we was in Mobile, Alabama, you dig? And Genuine stayed a couple doors down from me. And Genuine knocked on my door. And when he knocked on my door, he was like, "What's down, Chop?" I'm like, "What's down, bruh?" He was like, "Say, what's Sarah at?" Like, I don't understand how that went that way. Why would he say that there? But he knocked on my door and said, "What's Sarah at?" I'm like, in my mind, because back in the G, Sarah was married. And in my mind, I thought Sarah was like the goodest, goody two-shoe, look, pretty woman ever, innocent. And when he said that to me, I'm like, what? And he was like, "Nigga, I got two girls in here." He said, "I got two girls in here. Tell me what room Sarah in. You heard me? And you can come in here and these bitches." And I'm young and dumb. So I kind of took him up on that offer and I went into the room. Crazy, crazy, but I went into the room and knocked both of the bitches down. Pause, but that nigga low key was like
Why would he
in
say
that motherfucker
pause?
watching and playing
Oh,
50 Cent
okay.
on a laptop. Shit was wild. But I'm young and dumb and I'm fucking, back in the G,
What?
fucking bitches with your partners and all that shit. That used to be cool back in the G. You dig? So I didn't look at it like a bad thing. I looked at it like I'm living rapper heaven. I'm fucking too hard. You heard me? And after that shit was over with, you dig? I told him what room Sarah was in. And I'm just gonna say at the end of the day, he left out of his room and he came back in his room hours later. So I don't know what happened. He could have been walking in the park. But
He know what happened. Ain't no way he didn't know what happened.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
He know exactly what happened. What they call it, deductive reasoning. She got fucked. She went over there. If she was fucking P. Diddy, you don't think she was fucking Genuine? Why would he come to your room and ask about Sarah? Out of all the females, he asked about Sarah Stokes. If they was hitting that, just imagine how many niggas was hitting that. Her career should have took off. They turned her into a piece of ass. I hope she got some out the deal.
I doubt it. That's just my opinion about it. Facts. And it's nothing against Sarah though. I don't ever want to make it seem like you dig, but at the end of the day, facts are the facts. Facts are the facts. It is what it is. Facts are the facts. I think Sarah was dotting. I think Sarah was fucking who she wanted to. Well, and that's just my opinion. So that did it violate in the situation? Say, bro, I don't think that's true because when she got drunk, she got a little wicked. So that's all I'm gonna say about that with Sarah.
Wow. I mean, it just gets better and better with Sarah, don't it? She messing with Diddy. Can't say you got violated. Messing with Genuine. She better not ever say she was violated, because if you're doing all of these things, then you can't go around saying people violating you, because you get around. Then, once I heard this, I just threw my hands up. I couldn't believe it. Just gets better and
And I
better.
don't know if this is true. This is something I heard behind the scenes. So, but I heard Sarah, she was messing around with Freddie P.
Yeah, she did. Fred definitely knocked it down for sure. But that's how it all started, though. You heard me? That's how it all started, bro. It started with Fred knocking it down. That's when I looked at Sarah like a totally different type of woman. Because in my mind, growing up, you heard me? I thought like the married people were like 100 forever together. You dig? And Sarah, low key, high key, triple key, changed my perception of how I see women. You
You remember she was on there trying to act like she was a nice lady. I got kids and a family. I'm trying to take care of my family. She was trying to take care of family, all right.
dig? And I hate to say that, yeah, but changed my whole perception. Because I remember Fred, you did, and Fred, don't judge me, baby. You know I love you, but Chop gonna keep it real. And that was a wild life we had at that moment. So keeping it real and telling the history of our life, our journey is dope to me. So I'm going to say it. Fred was like, Chop. He's like, sit it, sit it, sit it. I fucked Sarah. I said, no, you didn't, bitch. He said, yes, I did. Nigga. I said, no, you didn't. He was like, I did. I fucked Sarah. I said,
Malcolm was FBA say, y'all gotta but stop believing in bras. All they do is lie. But something in men just don't want to believe it for some reason. Yep. All these women do is lie. That's why they lie about their body counts. What they say, when a 10 niggas, you gotta multiply that like times 3. I believe it. I got a homegirl right now. I'm telling you, she told me some stuff that I'm like, people wouldn't even believe. She even tried to hide one story from me, but I know who the participants were. In my head, I pieced it together. She didn't tell me who they were, but I knew that it was obviously her friend and her friend's husband, that they did something. In my head, that's what I'm sticking to, because I just know her and I just know she wouldn't have done that with anybody. But I know for a fact that anytime she would speak about these relationships and being with all these different men, it would be crazy who she would be talking about. I just know it. She was doing all kind of crazy stuff. Malcolm was FBA say, I don't believe no chicks, bro. See? And I agree with you. It's been shit that didn't happen that it's like, even my situation that I've talked about on here before with my baby mama, like, bro, I could never ever believe her. I was so naive a long time ago. I was so naive. Like, man, that experience right there opened my eyes to some shit. Cause I knew then, I was like, bitches can be downright low down about some shit. They can be devious, deviant, with no remorse. And they know they can do a lot of things and not get caught. That's why they be banging their friend. Well, not banging them, but they have sex with their homegirls and shit. I done heard that multiple times. They play like they just be joking, but you know that they having sex with each other. They having sex with all these different people. Without a shadow of a doubt, I know that for a fact now. Even the ones that's the goody two shoes, you'll see them. They pop up. They got kids. And you thinking, man, I thought she was like the type that just wanted to have a husband and have a family. She got 2 or 3 kids, so you know somebody was tearing that up. A lot of these chicks do is lie. They just lie. They don't care whether they got a ring on or they got somebody or they got a good thing at home. They don't care nothing about that. But they always say stuff about men sleeping around. Women are worse than men. They do it better than men, to be honest with you. If a dude want to smash, he gonna have to do a little work. If a chick want to smash, she ain't got to do much work. If she decide right now she wanna get with somebody, she can just go out to the store or go to the little corner store. It's over with. That's why I be like, bro, when I'm online or anybody else, if y'all online, if you're a dude, it's very few women compared to men that's in women's inboxes. In a man's inbox, you may get some chicks in there. Not as many as a woman would. A woman, man, chicks get dudes in their DMs all the time. So if they decide to pick one of them dudes, they could pick one every day if they wanted to. It's so many of them. But yeah, people like Sara, you should have known better. I was a kid. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I was what? High school or something? I thought, okay, I'm thinking like him. She got a family. I do remember like her husband always calling and giving her a hard time and shit like that. But overall, I didn't know.
How much you want to bet you ain't Sarah? He said, I'll bet my show money. And that's how me and Fred used to get down. Our bets used to be the show money with each other. So he was like, let's bet the show money. So I was like, all right, cool. So the next city we went to, you heard me, the deal was this here. Fred was going to leave a latch. He leave a latch so it could be compatible with the door so I can be able to walk in, you know. And if I walk in and see it, I lost the bet. And basically that's exactly what happened. We went to another city. We was actually in New York City. And we was staying in a hotel. And Fred texted me, and back in the G, it used to be sidekicks. Remember sidekicks?
Hell
I
yeah.
remember them, yeah.
Yeah. Fred hit me on my, yeah, that was the you hear me? But Fred hit me on the sidekick and was like, Nick, I'm in the room. Come on, I left the latch open for you. So I'm excited. I ain't gonna count with you, brother. I'm excited. You did, because I always wanted to see Sara naked. I'm sorry, I did. So I'm coming over there. I'm creeping, you dig? I'm creeping and excited. I can't wait. I open the door. I come creeping through the door. I turn right. You dig? I pass the bathroom, you heard me? I go right. Sara tearing this nigga up, son. I'm talking about fucking the shit out of Fred. And Fred, she riding Fred, and Fred looking at me, and he's sucking his dumbest shit. I was joked out, son. You heard me? And then Sara, I made a mistake and walked backwards, you dig? And when I walked backwards,
Made
it
a
was probably
noise.
some M&Ms, you heard me? Or some Skittles, you dig? And I made a mistake and stepped on it, and Sara looked back and jumped off Fred. Was like, oh my God, you know, and crying by the wall and shit.
Ah,
I'm like, Sara, say, bro, it's all gravy. I don't care.
you see how they do? And then want to get up and act like, oh man, just mad because she got caught. That's the thing. They don't be upset about what they did. They just be mad that they got caught. Because if they didn't get caught, they would still be doing it. And shit, she probably did it after that anyway. She didn't give a fuck. Women can lie. They can lie like a motherfucker. They can lie with a straight face. They'll put it, man, I put it on my baby. I put it on my mama. I put it on the dead. And be lying like a motherfucker.
Care. I was like, I already know. She said, you already knew? I said, yes. Fred said he already done it before. Fred, you running your mouth and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, Fred used to knock Sara ass down for sure. Yeah, Fred used to the shot of Sara. No doubt about it. Tell her ass up. Fred loves Sara, dog. He used to love Sara. Facts.
Why they didn't make it official?
Because Sara was married. How you gonna make something official and you got a family to go home to? You dig? And her husband would have gone and tried to kill her if he would have found that out. But we kept that a secret a long time around there. We did as long as we could. You heard me? But everybody know Fred was knocking it down. Believe that. Facts. But Fred, what really happened though, Fred started feeling the way. You know, when Diddy started knocking it down, Fred wasn't feeling that shit. He gonna say on
Hmm. I bet he was. He probably had feelings for it. He started catching feelings like a fool. Malcolm says Sarah's ex-husband realized everything he thought was true. Yep. Did he realize that on the show? Did they break up on the show? Or was this after the fact? Because, like I say, I do distinctively remember him like calling her all the time on the phone. She'd be somewhere, by herself on the phone. She'd been on there for hours. Because they used to complain about her husband always calling. Always was calling her. So you don't know, but he realized it now. Yep. Yeah, he found out. Shit. I bet you now he like, okay, everything I knew, like you say, everything I thought it was true. Especially hearing it come from the horse's mouth. Cause it don't get no more credible than that. He was there. This wasn't like Choppa's cousin going on this show telling me this is Choppa. He was a part of making the band. He was there the whole time, from the beginning to the end, from the auditions all the way till they made that video. So he know. Yeah, you can't trust these bitches, man. You can't trust them. They get out and they get wild. I know. I was a young nigga. I was working and she started working at a call center. I already knew. I was naive then, but I knew in the back of my head, I knew. A call center, it's a wrap. Nigga, don't you know what goes on at a call? I used to work at a call center. Do you know what goes on at lunch breaks at a call center? You ain't got nothing but time on your hands at a call center because you ain't making no sales. Nigga, you hanging up on folks. You acting like you talking. You ain't talking. You trying to talk to the female next to you. When you get to work, you trying to sit next to a certain female. You trying to fly over there. Because it wasn't no assigned seating. You could just sit down somewhere. Got your headset on in between calls. You talking. Y'all sending messages. Come on. Sarah's something else.
they don't remember when Diddy knocking it down and started feeling away, but he was knocking it down and Fred started feeling away. So that was enough. That was the end of the Fred and Sarah era, when Diddy started just fucking her. Facts.
So when Sarah and Freddie P was messing around, I remember on Making a Band, her husband, he used to come on the show. Was they messing around at that time too?
No, 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 absolutely not. Um, I think in my opinion, I think her husband knew what was down with Sarah as a person. So I think that he was trying to protect her. You dig? Protect her from embarrassing herself.
Nah, niggas know. Look, I can tell you this for you know when your chick is a little slut. You know when she's what she is. You know. You don't be wanting to admit that shit, but you know. He knew.
And that's just my opinion. You dig? He was trying to protect her from embarrassing herself, which eventually ended up happening anyway, because the more that he wasn't around is the more she started doing her. Because I'm starting to feel like, nah, she was probably trying to run from him. You dig? So when he wasn't able to be in control on making the band like how he's normally in control, obviously in her life, she was running like a free slave. And she was cutting the fuck up because obviously she must hated her life back then. But in my opinion, I think Just my opinion, and I don't do no capping, you dig? I think that her husband at that time, he done everything right for her, laced her up. He took care of her. Sarah didn't come into the band struggling. She came into the band with money. Sarah already had buku money. And they whole little wiggle, they had money. So Sarah ain't have a worry in the world. And I think that he was just trying to protect her from embarrassing herself, which she ended up doing anyway. So yeah, that's what happened. The more they got Sarah's husband away from him was the more Sarah was able to kind of thought out a little bit. You hear me? Facts though. That's just my opinion. Say, bro, after I seen Sarah do all that there, I couldn't look at women the same way. And that sucks. But it just made me look like, damn, even the married women be out here cutting up. And that maybe it did traumatize me. And mind you, I was a young dude. I wasn't over 21. I wasn't none of that. I was young. So you dig? I seen a lot of shit growing up, but I never seen a married woman cut up like that. I never seen it. You dig? And that made me say, damn, even the married woman, I think married women sometimes be the worst ones. Yikes. Mhm.
That's true. They be the worst ones. Then you figure it out. It take you a minute. But like you say, at some point, you do come to a certain realizations about women. They're not as innocent as they claim to be. They're not as innocent as they make themselves to be. She was messing with Genuine, Freddie P, and Diddy. And that kind of explains why Diddy and Freddie P used to have the conflicts that they used to have. Probably behind this shit, because you remember it was times on that show where them two would be like they wanted to kill each other. Even one of these episodes with Choppa, he was saying that Freddie P got into it with Diddy and Diddy threatened to kill that nigga. So that was just tension behind a female. I guarantee you it was. But yeah, you do come to these certain realizations about women. And see, when you say stuff like this, some women they hate to hear it, but it's the truth. They not as innocent as they claim to be. They get around, dog. I'm like a lot of these other niggas. Some of these women got a lot of bodies on them. A lot of bodies. They got a lot of activities on them. All of the threesomes and they done all of that shit. Don't let none of these bitches fool you. I didn't heard it. I didn't heard it from them.